and welcome to a new episode of SHRISHTI. This is again a very special episode because it resonates a lot with my own journey and with the journey of a lot of women I know around me. This is where a person who started her life as usually we do, we complete our education, then we get into the world of corporate business, and then there is some calling or some realization which brings us back to where we actually want to be. Sometimes it is the same place that we are in, which is in the world of corporate world, in the world of business, but sometimes it might be a little different where we are looking forward to support that ecosystem where we have spent a lot of time. I'm talking about the transition from corporate life to psychology. Our guest today is Divya Sharma, who chose to listen to her inner calling after spending a good amount of time in the corporate world. And with all her experience on the business side and her love for the psychology, she combined both of the worlds and created something very beautiful, Sunshine for the Soul. She's a founder of Sunshine for the Soul, which works as a supportive, non judgmental place where people come and gain what they need to prosper in their lives, the connect which they need to make with themselves. She, the vision of Sunshine for the Soul is to provide a confidential, supportive, and non judgmental space where everyone can freely express themselves and when designing the training programs that she does for the corporate world, she blends her experience of being in that space with her expertise and love for psychology. So the trainings that are delivered are very effective because it's like combining both the worlds and with the first-hand experience that she has. Uh, she also runs the playful place with another colleague of hers, and this is an online safe space for adults. So it is basically to remind them that play or getting into activities like that is very important despite whatever be your age. So the playful place is the place where we can go back and go back to our childhood even when being adults. So this is a beautiful conversation that I've had with her, and I'm very excited to bring this to all of you in this episode of Shrishti. So join me in welcoming Divya Sharma to our episode today. First of all, welcome to Shrishti, and thank you so much for agreeing to share your journey with us. And I am looking forward to a lot of insights from your journey, from what you do. So once again, welcome to Shrishti.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm happy to share whatever I can.
Okay. So if we talk of today, people know you as a psychotherapist, as a counselor, as a healer. But if I talk about the young Divya, so how was young Divya?
Young Divya. Yeah, I've changed a lot since the young Divya, but the young Divya was shy, very quiet, sensitive, but also very open and a lot of fun and crazy with the people she was close to.
Okay.
As I grew, my circle grew, my personality changed. Work also does that. So,
Yes. Right. So what drove you towards psychology? How did that interest get into you?
so I was always the go-to person for a lot of people, even when I was in school and college and everything. And there was a point when people used to call me the agony aunt. I know agony aunt does not equal therapist,
Right.
but it does equal a certain sense of interest in people, in
Yes.
behavior.
Yes.
So that's how I got interested in psychology, and I started studying psychology, I think, in 11th standard. That's when it was introduced to us, and I was hooked.
Okay, nice, nice. So when you entered the world of corporate business, like in the corporate world, so was this therapist still within you? Like, did you still feel that there is something which is different from what you're doing?
Yes, 100%. Also, it was also because I was lucky enough to get into a role. So I was working as an HR
Okay.
person in the IT sector. So I was lucky enough to have that role where there was a lot of people interaction.
Right, right.
So then, of course, these things come up, and then when people open up to you, they figure that, okay, this is helpful. And I'm also able to, I don't know. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
the
like
role
you,
also that helped.
yeah, like you rightly said, sometimes like even if you just become a good listener, it gives
Mhm.
you it gives the other person a lot of relief.
Yes,
So
that's true. That's true.
yeah.
Being a good listener and being genuinely interested.
So we can say that when you were in your corporate life also, there were signs that like if I ask your colleagues then they wouldn't be very surprised to see you today as a therapist.
Not at all. So many of them used to tell me that why are you here? Like, why are you doing a corporate job? You should become a therapist. So
Right.
yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody would be surprised.
So little bit on your decision how you chose. If I
Hmm.
ask you, did psychology choose you or you chose psychology?
I think I chased it.
Okay.
I think I chased psychology because I had it in my bachelor's, then I went on to do my MBA, and there was no psychology in my life, but somewhere I was always chasing it. I was reading about it, I was wanting to do more of it. So yeah, I think I chased it.
Right, right. So you spent a good amount of like 13 years in the corporate world and you were in a role where you were interacting more with people.
Yeah.
So how, like if I ask you what did you learn about human behavior or what is it where you felt that okay you can change into a role where you'll be more useful to people in general?
So, one big thing that really stayed with me that I learned, of course, I learned a lot of things, but one big thing that really stuck with me was sometimes there's a big gap between an individual's self image and their actual image.
Correct.
And that gap just stops them from seeing and becoming aware of what they need to do to progress in life, what they need to do, what changes they need to bring about. So, and we study the Johari window in psychology, and one
Mhm.
of the sections of that Johari windows is the things that other people know about you and you don't know about yourself.
Right.
So, I actually witnessed that in practice. So, only if people became more open to feedback, to seeing and becoming more aware and changing their point of view about themselves,
Right.
that is definitely a big takeaway. And that also taught me to ensure I don't become closed to accepting feedback or seeking feedback. Another thing was a whole lot of people are fighting a whole lot of battles that we absolutely know nothing about. And this might sound very cliched, but it's so true.
It's very true. Correct.
So, just being kind. And being kind does not mean that we let go of our boundaries. We start doing other people's work at the job, but just being kind and polite.
Right.
Because I've had people who've been fighting diseases, who've been going through a lot on their personal front, but they've been showing up smiling at work. So
Right.
we can do very well with some kindness, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree. Uh, So, like in this journey, I'm sure that you were like your kind of training was going on even when you had that journey of 13 years.
Yeah.
So, was there any time that you felt that, like we just said, that there are people who are fighting battles, but they show up smiling. So, was there any time when you felt that you were contented with your job, but internally you were not feeling connected? You felt a disconnect.
I wouldn't say I felt a disconnect because I have always had great peers at my workplace. So because of them, plus because I was getting a chance to work with people because of my role, I was not really completely disconnected from what I was doing. But yeah, this thing was always there that this is not it.
Mhm.
There was this need to do more, this desire to do more and different. So yeah.
So now I will little bit focus on what we generally do in this conversation on Shrishti. So talking about women in general, uh, there are women who continue with their careers. They look perfect when they are at work, but there's always a struggle between their
Mm.
stability, because obviously a job is much more stable, and their purpose. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, did you experience women who are like that, or what could they do to actually manage it all?
Managing it all, that is the key word.
Right.
Managing it all is a scam,
Yes.
right? It's not possible to manage it all
Mhm.
single-handedly. And we see those images, no, every Women's Day that one woman and like 20 hands and
20 hands.
doing everything.
Right.
It's a scam. It's not possible. Women who do it with a lot of guilt. The guilt
Right.
of not being present there, the guilt of not being present here. But they also do it with a support system in place.
Mm.
And
Right.
thankfully, women have started accessing the support system without the guilt,
Yes.
outsourcing some of their work. There is a
Absolutely.
whole army of people supporting women uh, when they are excelling at the workplace.
Mhm. Correct.
And we might want to reach a place where professional lives and personal lives and what it entails is equally divided, but we are not there yet.
Yeah. Right.
So
We're
there is
still on the
a,
journey.
yes, we are still on the journey. There's a lot of change for sure, but we are still on the
Mm.
journey. So women,
Correct.
when you find them doing it all, they're doing it with a lot of guilt. They carry a lot of guilt because that's their conditioning. But they also have a support system that's helping them.
It is important. I think that acceptance is important, that we cannot do it all. So,
Yeah, and you know that you don't have to. It's
right.
100% a scam. If it wasn't a scam, everybody would be doing it all. Why only women then?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, so when you decided to transition from a stable job to a purposeful work
Hmm.
place, so was there a specific moment which gave you that spark that I have to do this? And when it happened, what were the fears that you had?
Oh, there were multiple fears. Because 13 years when you're working at something, you don't only become comfortable, but you also grow to become good at it,
Yes.
right? You struggle, you fall, you learn, and you become good at it. And then the thought of leaving that and starting something completely different, that can be scary. That can be scary. That brings up insecurities also of all sorts.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
that that fear that I don't want to leave one thing, go into another, not become good at it.
Correct.
So that need to succeed was very high.
So, what do you think is heavier, the practical risks of making that shift or the emotional ones?
I think practical risks are can be dealt with logic, right? With rationality. You have plans, you decide a timeline, you start telling yourself, okay, this career of 13 years is the cushion that I can fall back on if this doesn't work. So practically, yeah, you can rationalize it with logic, but emotionally, yeah, the fears that will keep coming up, and then you quieten them, and then they come back up. So, plus our society also, the way it's built, it's not very supportive of these transitions,
Absolutely.
especially when we are so age driven.
Mhm. Correct. So
Yeah.
that was my next question actually, that when you took that plunge, so how was your like the close circle or the family that you have? So
Hmm.
how was their support, or did you have that cushioning from their end also? Did that require a lot of convincing too?
Okay, there were two, three things that were happening. One thing is everyone around me was getting married. They had gotten married already, or they were planning to have kids, or they were really focused on their career and wanting to do better in it, or all of these things were happening, right? And here I was ready to uproot myself from what I had already built. And
Right.
that's not seen with a lot of understanding or kindness or support in the society, because then the questions that are asked are like, then why did you do an MBA? Like, waste. It's wasted. You
Absolutely.
wasted 13 years at the corporate world.
Right.
Because we don't transition. Want to stay safe. We are not a
Right.
very openly risk taking kind of a culture.
Correct.
So, yes, people gave me that. And after a point, of course, I was initially upset, but then I understood that maybe they're coming from a different worldview.
Right.
Their world is different from my world, and that's okay. Maybe they are trying to protect me.
Yeah.
What is important is, and what became my motto for a really long time was, you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it comes mostly from a place of care, but
Yeah.
yeah,
But
to
I would also definitely say that there were a lot of people who were very supportive, who
mm,
were very encouraging, very supportive, and constantly in touch
great.
about what's happening. It's all right. You'll be able to do it. So, yeah, those voices were also there. But the way we are made, we get attracted to the negative voices.
Negatives ones. Correct. Agree, absolutely. So, so like you said, there were a lot of things that were happening with like the friends and colleagues you had around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what is it that was happening in your life? Was this the transition solely you were focused on, or like what stage of life were you at? Were there other things that you had to, keep in place?
I was working in Noida. I was staying alone. And yeah, marriage was on the cards. I got married while I was doing my master's.
Okay.
And then I relocated to a completely different city while I was still doing my master's.
Okay.
Then I took up a new job in a new city.
A
So a
lot of
lot
things.
was happening. But this was always my center. Like I've submitted assignments from weddings. I've
Oh,
I've attended weddings till like one or two, and then I've gone back to my room, finished the remaining part of my assignment, submitted it at 4 or 5, gone back for the next function at 8 a.m.
oh
So,
boy.
so yeah,
Lot of things.
integrating everything together. Because I also understood and accepted that I'm not a doe-eyed 20-year-old who has a lot of time. And when I say time, I don't mean by age.
Mm,
I mean to build on
right.
what I
Right.
want to.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So, with all of this happening, was there any time when you felt self-doubt, or you felt that, you questioned your own capabilities? You
Yeah,
did.
self-doubt, of course. huge part, I think, of the whole journey. But when it comes to questioning capabilities, I don't think I questioned capabilities. I questioned if it was enough to succeed. Did I need more skills? My capabilities as a therapist, I knew that I will be able to hone my skills, but you need a whole different set of skills to succeed in a profession.
Absolutely.
And especially when
Absolutely.
you take off on your own,
Hmm.
there's a lot at stake. You don't have a boss guiding you
Right.
or telling you that this is your timeline or deadline. It's very
Right.
easy to fall back into a slower pace of
Right.
working. So, yeah.
You have to be accountable for yourself, and that's a big challenge.
Yeah, so that those are the capabilities I was questioning.
Yeah. Okay, so like we spoke about the emotional risks or the emotional baggages which come with all of this.
Mhm.
So, what was it like? It was it a fear? Was it insecurity? Or was it like, self-doubt? Obviously, it keeps coming and going in different intensities. Was
Yeah.
there frustration? Like, what exactly was going on in your mind?
Wow, I think it was a roller coaster. Uh, every day was different. Some days I would feel very positive. There was this excitement that, okay, I'm doing this.
Right,
And there was a lot of gratefulness also on many days that I am getting a chance to make my plan B my plan A,
right,
make this transition. I understood that it is a privilege to be able to do that. So some days it was there. Some days I was frustrated about the pace specifically. Because while I wanted to rush into everything and really quickly get started as a therapist, things will move at their own pace. If a master's takes 2 years and if the other certifications take another 1.5 years, that's how long it will take. So yeah, it was fears on some days, like I said, right? That will I succeed or will the negative voices that I'm working so hard to quieten, will they become my reality? So yeah, there were definitely fears.
So, how did you manage all of this? Like, what was your mental wellness tool at that time to focus on the positive?
Okay, my job, I realized then, and it was a very stark realization that my job had made me a compulsive multitasker.
Yeah,
Initially, I thought that after I move out from Noida, I'm going to just focus on my master's. When I started doing that, I realized I had slowed down majorly in terms of my studying hours, the amount of work I was putting in because I had the whole day. So I would think that I have the whole day and not get anything done the whole day.
right, right,
So that's when I decided that I do need to start working because I really, really believe that a work, like a job, does not just give us financial security or independence. It
right.
also gives us a sense of routine.
Absolutely.
And during that time, at least, I needed some external hooks to center my routine around.
Right, right.
I was not in a place mentally where I was able to take charge of my routine. So I sort of admitted that to myself. I got a job, and that's what helped me center myself that I have a job in the daytime. I have
Right.
maybe 3 hours in the evening
Mhm.
to study. So, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's a very good thing actually, because what happens is most of the times we make job an excuse for not doing something, but you did it the other way around. You took up a
Yeah,
job to actually put things in place. So
yeah,
that's
true, true.
commendable. Uh, so if you could meet your early self, like if you when you started the journey,
Hmm.
so what is one maybe no, I'll not say remark, but how would you appreciate your younger self today?
Hmm. I would just say that good you decided to hang in there. because
Wonderful.
that's all you need to do. On the difficult days, you decided to hang in there. On the easy days, it was easier.
Right.
Because on the difficult days, it becomes hard to stay with all those voices in your head again.
So what keeps you going? Like whenever you felt that it was too overwhelming.
Hmm.
So what kept you going? Was there an inner connect? But obviously it is your inner calling to come back to this field. So was it something that you reconnected with yourself and you focused on your inner voice? What kept you going when it was very difficult?
I think bringing myself back to rationality is something that has always helped me. Now, just going back to the why I started. If this is so hard on so many days, why am I still doing it? Why did I start at all in the first place? So, if the answer to that still holds true, I was able to push through that day.
Wonderful, wonderful. So one thing which we all fear, and it's there all the time, is what you have already undergone to uproot yourself from some place and start over.
Mhm.
So, as a expert in the area, I want you to little bit talk about why this there is a misunderstanding related to starting over. There are many, I'll not say just women, there are many people, even the young adults today, they are very fearful. Maybe they are 1 or 2 years in the corporate world, but they are very fearful to change their area of work. Or with
Yeah.
the technology being upgraded, there's so much scare that, AI will take the jobs.
Yeah.
So this concept of starting over is often misunderstood. So
Hmm.
what are your views on that?
I think a big part of that misunderstanding is the fear of uncertainties.
Yes.
And very quickly, that fear changes into anxiety.
Mhm.
And that becomes debilitating. We feel like now there's nothing to do, like we can't help it, we are stuck.
Right.
So, we need to get to a point where we can hold the hands of our uncertainties and our fears and move forward. And it's easier said than done. 100%. I agree with that. It's not easy to do. But when we feel stuck, basically we are telling ourselves that there's no option.
Right.
So it's worthwhile to ask yourself, that really is there no option, or is the option too tough? Or is the option not exactly what you want? You might have to tweak the option.
Right. Absolutely.
So I had to tweak my option. I wanted to do a master's in person, but I realized that that would not work out for me.
Right.
I did not have enough savings. I got a scholarship and everything, but I still did not have enough savings to fund myself. And initially, I was like, okay, maybe I'm not able to study further. But then someone told me that why there is the option of studying while you work.
Right.
So you tweak your options,
Right.
and our fear will tell us that there is no option. You're stuck. But it's important to scratch the surface of that thought and understand that is it hard to choose the other option, or is there really no option?
Beautiful, beautiful. I think this is very, very powerful
Hmm.
because what happens is that the clouds get very dense with all the fears that we have. But
True.
like you rightly said, we need to scratch through it and find the option, even
Yeah,
if it is tough.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Then you make a choice.
So I I really like the name of your, the founding thing that you've done on Sunshine for the Soul. I think it
Yeah,
totally resonates with this, with what we are talking because when sunshine comes, then the darkness disappears.
yeah, yeah.
So, what vision gave birth to Sunshine for the Soul, and a little bit about what is it and how you work around it.
Okay, so sunshine for the soul. If you see my logo, also the end of the sun is a little door with a little bit of sunlight coming through it. So what I wanted to show through that was that there's always hope. There's always hope if we decide to hang in there. So I wanted people to have a space where they can be their most vulnerable
Mhm.
while knowing that they are safe. So that was the basic premise of Sunshine for the Soul.
That's very, I think, very much needed also, because vulnerability is something which is, which is very, very difficult. It's all about how much trust and confidence you can have, and which usually is not difficult. It's not easy to just open
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
So
true. But I
that's
read somewhere that vulnerability and courage are the same things,
yes, yes. I think that's very right.
right? So it takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable because
Absolutely.
you're risking something there by being vulnerable, like you risk something when you're courageous.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's very powerful.
Yeah,
It requires a lot of courage to actually be vulnerable.
yeah.
So, okay, I understood that you wanted people to have that space and thing. So, what are the common struggles that you see? Like, obviously, not to mention anything in specific, but generally, what are the common struggles? And because, again, little bit focusing on the women here, what do you think they silently carry, and which they are able to come up to, this space and open up about?
So women silently carry guilt. They just carry a lot of guilt.
Mhm.
Uh, they might take a stand. They might fight for their rights. They might break the glass ceiling. They might shatter the box they are being put into. But a lot of women, I won't say all, but a lot of women do it with guilt because the society is constantly telling them that this is not how you're supposed to do it. And they're conditioned to feel like that. The society is constantly telling them to shrink yourself, don't ask for more, no, don't seek so much freedom, don't negotiate your salary. So,
Yes.
so women are often constantly balancing their guilt.
Right.
That's
And
what I've seen like through my sessions as well as while I was working.
that's a very profound thing, because yeah, even if they are doing many things which require, I think, a lot of appreciation, acknowledgement, the more that they get is guilt. So
Yeah.
it's like it's never enough.
And the guilt is not always coming from an external source.
Hmm.
A lot of the time it just comes internally because we're just conditioned to think that way. We know mentally that what we are doing is right, but at an emotional level, you're still like, oh, but maybe this is wrong.
I think it'll be a very, like, what you're doing would be very helpful for women that way, because like we said, that being vulnerable and to accept what is happening.
Yeah.
And I think just to talk about it, consult someone who can, give that little sunshine can be
Mhm.
really helpful.
Yeah,
So a
thank you for
great
saying that.
job on that.
Thank you.
Uh, so as a therapist, what is that one thing that you feel that people understood about that the mental health support? Because still today, it's very, like, we cannot say, we talk about it a lot, but it is still not something that people actively practice for their mental wellness.
Yeah.
So what do you think they should understand about it?
Lots of things come to my mind, honestly. But one thing for sure that when you come into a space that supports your mental health, it does not fix you.
Mhm.
You fix you.
Yeah.
It just gives you perspective. It just gives you food for thought. And when you go to a therapist, they do it in a structured way because they've got that education.
Right.
Talking to a friend is great. Sitting with your chai ka cup is great, but it is not therapy. It's therapeutic 100%.
Right.
It helps. It definitely helps. You should definitely talk to friends. You should definitely sip your chai in peace. But it is not a replacement for therapy. We see so often these days that, oh, my trek is my therapy, my chai is my therapy. It's therapeutic. Absolutely is. And it is very, very needed to stay emotionally regulated. But
Right.
it's not therapy.
Right.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Great, great. Uh, yeah, very, very much needed information for
Hmm.
everyone to understand. Great. Another thing that you're doing is, which is very, actually, it's very, what to say, I don't know how to describe it, but it's very refreshing to even know something like this, where you talk about how much important it is for adults to play. So,
Yes.
so that the playful plays that you run with your colleague you mentioned. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the idea behind it and what it is.
Okay. So the Playful Place is mostly an online space. We've done a few things offline,
Mm-hmm.
but it's mostly an online space. And I run it with another colleague, Shruti Bose. She's based out of Calcutta. And it is just a space for adults to remind them that, it's just important to play. And play is does not mean you have to set play time separately
Mhm.
or you have to invest a lot of money.
Right.
You book a turf and you go and play a sport. It's not
Mhm.
always that. Of course, if you can do that, it's great. If that works for you, it's great. But that is not the only idea of play.
Mhm.
As we grow older, we start to think that, oh, play is childish. But maybe it's not childish, it's childlike. It gives us that childlike joy.
Right.
And with that joy, the happy hormones happen.
Correct. Absolutely.
And because of those happy hormones, we stay emotionally regulated and we show up better with more rationality and clarity in our serious part of the life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what do you think happens when we lose that sense of play? Like
Hmm.
we're busy taking care of so many things in life. And like you said, that we don't need to actually put out a time or put out resources for that. But we are just in that mindset that, now play is not meant for us. How does it affect an individual?
Okay, like I said, that play releases happy hormones. And also, play helps to tap in certain areas of our brain that active cognitive thinking does not tap into, right? And sometimes we don't realize we do indulge in play. Like when we are pulling a coworker's leg,
Mhm.
that's play. Can you do it
Right.
without smiling? Can you do
No.
it without the happy hormones being released?
Mhm.
If
Right.
we sing out a childhood song, like, it hardly requires any time investment, right?
Absolutely.
But can you
Absolutely.
sing Hakuna Matata or Jungle Jungle Baat Chaliye without smiling about it?
No.
Right? That's enough. So sometimes, like if I'm picking up a bag of chips from the kitchen, and if my
Mhm.
husband is standing there and we play a little game of catch, that's
Right.
play. If I'm dancing with my sister on a random evening, that's play. And that's enough. So just, including small things in your day. And we try to remind people of that, or we try to help them to pause to do that.
Very important
Yeah, pause.
concept of pause.
Like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, really, we can make that much time for ourselves in the week to
So,
pause.
absolutely. So wonderful, wonderful. So, what is that one playful thing that you've done recently as a child?
Oh, recently, yesterday, I had a mango and I let it drip. If it was dripping, it was fine.
Yeah, that's actually very refreshing. If
Yeah.
you eat it like a child.
Yeah, I think that's the most fun way to have a mango.
ahead, I have some quick answer questions for you,
Yeah.
and like just not a rapid fire sort of, just short, quick answers.
Okay.
So, what is that one word which would describe this chapter of your life that you presently are on?
Okay. So the theme that I decided for myself for this year, when I was thinking about it, is that I'm going to be shameless in putting myself out there. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to reach out to people because there's one other thing that I do is take corporate sessions for corporate clients. So I'm always thinking, will this work? Is it worthwhile? If it's not, it's fine. So
Wonderful.
shameless, yeah.
Great. I think as entrepreneurs or as people who are providing services which really have value, I think this is one thing, one word which we really need to have in mind.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
hesitation needs to go, whether
yeah.
it'll work, whether
But
it'll not. Sometimes we also feel very hesitant to approach people who are known to us. Like, we have so many questions and thought. So
yeah,
this
yeah.
is
We
this is
feel like,
powerful.
oh, but is it okay if we reach out for work? It's fine. Even if nothing works, how does it matter? So I think January I decided that this is the theme for me this year. Yeah.
Great, wonderful. Uh, any belief that you had to unlearn?
Hmm. That everyone who's important to you must align with your decisions.
Another powerful one.
Mhm.
Great, great. Uh, any compliment that you received and it stayed with you?
Yeah, it was from one or two clients who said that I'm their safe space.
Great.
So that was such a privilege to hear that from them, to be in a position where people are opening up their raw lives to you. So I really, really think that's a privilege, and that thing meant so much to me. It's something I think of when I want to show up as my best self every day.
And
So
it completely aligns with the vision that you started this journey with.
I
So
wanted to
that's
be that person for people.
yeah, that's wonderful. That's congratulations to you for that.
Thank you.
Uh, something that you're still working on.
Prioritizing myself. Yeah, that is something that I'm working on because I don't know how I learned that, but to put myself second when the need comes. Of course, sometimes there's a real need also when we need to prioritize someone else's needs or something else, but not all the time. It's okay to take up space and have your voice.
Wonderful. One thing success means to you today.
Yeah, that's that's I think very important for me to think about because initially, like I told you, right, that I thought that I want to have the capabilities to succeed.
Right.
But I'll tell you a quick little thing that sometime back I was reading an old email that I'd sent to a friend, and I'd written in that email that I think I'll be happiest and at peace when I start taking sessions as a therapist and I start doing that decently, even if it's 2, 3 sessions. And I'm doing that right now without realizing that
Wow.
it's like living an old dream. So what
Right.
I've come to realize is that success is the journey.
Right.
As human beings, we will keep shifting our goalpost. Because
Mhm.
once I realized that idea of success that I had then,
Mhm.
I so quickly shifted the goalpost, I didn't even realize it.
Right.
So I really think success is the journey.
Wonderful. Uh, Great. So, any one thing that brings you immediate joy?
I think food for sure,
Okay.
and nature. I see a pretty flower, a tree. I feel immediately happy.
Great. Any book or quote or idea that changed your perspective? or that maybe because you already had that perspective in mind of helping others or being there to for others. So anything that enhanced that.
So there are books for sure. I love to read fiction,
Okay.
but there are some non-fiction books that have really, really been like they've stayed with me. There's a book called Quiet by Susan Cain. It's about introverts and it's very powerful, that book. Then there's Man's Search for Meaning, uh, Road Less Traveled. And yeah, and there's a ton of non-fiction books and graphic novels that totally love. But a quote, like I said, I don't think anybody quoted that, but something I've been living by is you got to do what you got to do.
Great. So if your journey had a title, what title would you give it?
I think I don't know, slow rush because I have I've slowed down now and I understand how important it is, but I've been the textbook definition of hustling. So I even when I knew that like I told you, right, 2 years of masters is going to take 2 years, no matter how much I rush or
Yeah.
I feel rushed or I keep feeling that thing jaldi ho. So yeah, or maybe pace. I learned to eventually pace myself. So,
Great. Great. So very, very nice segment. I think we got so many thoughts that you have, and it's actually very helpful coming from a therapist because you've lived between people who I think when we are in that corporate world in
yeah.
general, there is a lot of times where we are very far from realizations. We know something is happening, but we are far from it. So having taken all those inputs and then putting into a place where you're creating such a safe space for people, it's a very powerful thing to do. Uh, So little bit, I have a couple of more questions on specifically women. Why I am focused on women is first because the intent of this podcast is to reach out to more women who do not take initiatives to take care of themselves mentally or like they don't prioritize themselves. So through mediums like this, it's important to send that message across that you are important too, and you should also you should also work for yourself. So,
Sweet.
we spoke about the pressures that they carry, the women carry. What is that one myth about strong women that you think should be broken, or like people should understand that it's just a myth?
Okay, there was actually a study
Mm.
where there were two groups of people and they were both told the exact same qualities with the
Mhm.
gender changed,
Okay.
right? One group was told that you have a male boss with these qualities and would you love to work with them? And most people said yes. And then another group was told that you have a female boss with those very same qualities. Would you like to work with them? They were like, no,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And the data speaks for itself that women in leadership positions or just women at the workplace have it slightly tougher. They have
Yes.
a lot more to prove. They can't be part of the boys' gang all the time.
Correct.
The boys' club is a very tight-knit club.
Yes.
A lot is changing. I'm not sure saying it's not, but a lot is still the same.
Still there. Right.
So those are the struggles that they deal with on a day-to-day basis, the judgment that comes with having the leadership skills, the judgment that, oh, she's hard, harsh, oh, she's moody, oh, she's so rough, she's rude. Whereas a man with these skills will be most likely called someone who is authoritative, who's a good leader.
Correct.
So if a woman is harsh, she's also trying to be a leader. And those women are also women who are carrying a lot of self doubt and guilt.
Absolutely.
Those
Very
things
true.
don't go away.
Very true.
The guilt of being away from home, away from your kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think this is a very, very powerful myth which surrounds which is there in the environment around us
yeah,
and
yeah.
should be broken.
Mm,
Okay. And so talking about self-care, again, a concept which is often pushed behind by women.
yeah, yeah.
So how do you think, if I talk about you in person also, how do you think self-care has evolved over the years for you?
Self care for me used to be, it still is on some days, just staying at home, watching a movie, ordering your favorite food, which is great. But I think it has evolved into a more consistent thing now. That is trying to follow a discipline. You know, the serious kind of self care, the everyday kind of self care. Trying to focus on your nutrition, trying to follow a discipline, trying to have some things that build you, that help you grow, making room for that. So, yeah.
Very, very true. Yeah. It should be something which is consistent, not which
Yeah,
we do
so
once in a while.
definitely catching up with friends and going out for coffee dates and spa day and all of that is great for sure. But for me now, it's turned into also something that's more consistent.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So, coming to my final question, the message that we take from every guest, and especially we call it like this Shrishti question that we have. Uh, if there's one message that your journey has taught you until now, and you want our listeners to, take away that key message from you, what would that be?
Do it scared. Like I said, just hold the hand of uncertainty and your fears and just go ahead. But of course, don't like just jump into it blind. That's not what I mean.
Right.
Uh, what I mean is that once you have the data and it's just your fears that are stopping you, and you will never have complete data. Like you will like I never got the answer to will I be successful at this.
Mhm.
I just weighed my options, right? So I think yeah, that would be my message: is do it scared. Become friends with the uncertainty. Let them sit on your head, on your shoulder, on your lap. It's fine.
Great, great. So wonderful, Divya. We had a very, very good conversation, I think, and a very useful one. Not just for women, but life in general. The things we spoke about, they have a lot of insights and a lot of takeaways. So thank you once again for coming on this episode and sharing your journey, sharing your inputs with us, and wish you all the very best with all the plannings that you have to move ahead and help people around create an ecosystem of positivity. So, wishing you all the best for that.
Thank you so much, Nivedita, and thank you for having me here. What you're trying to do here with it, with some focus for women also, it's really great and commendable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day ahead.
Yeah.